Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Crawls down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a footage thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small or spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big. Whatever it was, ran straight down at us and just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't get the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a thrown man.
I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Here is part 2 of Monday's episode. Hope you're enjoying your day and enjoy the rest of this awesome interview.
So your buddy saw him too. I mean, what was his take on it? What did he say about it?
I mean, he didn't know what to make of it because he hasn't had the background I have of seeing him a lot of times. But me and him have been friends since preschool.
Okay.
So, like, when I looked at him and I told him, this is the same shit I've seen before. And he's heard the noises at my folks' property because he's visited there a bunch.
Yeah.
So, to him, it's just what made sense. Like, yeah, because, you weren't going to mistake the way they were running and the shape of them for something like a big cat or whatever. Yeah. Like a big cat, the shoulders and the hips almost even out. Their back's almost a flat plane. Like it's got a bow in it, but the height from the hips and the height to the shoulders is almost the same. Even when they run, they like bounce up and down pretty even. This, like, you could tell there was like a difference in heights between where its hips were and its back legs were and their backs. Like all their backs were sloping up and just big, giant piles of black fur on the backs of their heads and their shoulders and like skinny, upward curved tails.
Yeah.
This booking. And I distinctly like have a vision in my lights of like the back foot having the toe. The big toe that comes off.
Wow. That's it.
So like when I looked at him and I'm like, man, that's what I've seen before.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him, like I said, thick and thin since preschool. So, my word's good enough for him.
Yeah, I get you. Mm-hmm. It's honestly, it's incredible. I mean, have you encountered anything like this since, or is that pretty much?
I went and visited my folks.
Yeah.
Probably, I want to say it was like 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
And I heard them out there again. Really quick. Only a couple seconds and I'm going back and forth. It's really frustrating because my dad was sitting out there.
No.
But my dad's been a machinist for 20 years.
Yeah.
So he isn't hearing shit.
Oh,
like, unless there's a freight train rolling through the woods, he's not hearing anything.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
My mom's heard them and things like that. My mom's heard the weirdness out there. But my dad never has.
No kidding.
My brothers heard it. My two sisters have heard it. Just my dad's deaf as a post.
There's down here in Kentucky, there's a famous story that came back from the land between the lakes, and somewhere along the lines, someone tacked the Dogman onto it, and there was like the Beast of Bray Road, the Beast of the Land Between the Lakes, et cetera, so forth. Do you think that maybe something like this could have been responsible for those sightings?
I don't know. I'd have to actually go back and see if there was ever like a real report of what actually happened. Because it's like you said, everyone piles everything onto it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen these things, but I don't think they'd have the ability to do, because obviously with all this stuff that's happened to me over the years, Dogman became one of like my obsessions.
Right.
Because in my brain, I'm like, maybe that's it. Because like I've kind of had this theory kicking around in the back of my head since 2 years ago when I first really got that good glimpse of one on that job site. And I've been like, I think that's what people are seeing. So like Vic's show, I've listened to that goofiness.
Yeah.
Sasquatch Chronicles has a few interesting ones. Like you really got to dig through like his backlog, and there's like 1 or 2 episodes where people talk about Dogman, where it's not like a Hollywood monster, and it's not as big, and not as like classic Van Helsing werewolf.
Right. Yeah.
And those are interesting, but like the really interesting ones to me are few and far between for anything that sounds anything remotely not cut right out of a Hollywood movie.
Right. Yeah. I know.
But
I keep an eye on. There's a certain group out there on Facebook, and I keep a pretty close eye on them. And they're fooling a lot of people, but not all of us with their stuff. I mean, it's. I don't even know what the goal is. What's the end game goal with what those guys are doing, but. You trace it back to the meat and potatoes, the real sightings that left a huge mark, and I think that when you take away all of the fantastic and all of the what do you call it, like the hype, you know what I mean, where they've built it up over time, and I mean, what about an aberrant pack of baboons? I mean, people buy exotic pets, and this shit happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to the whole LBL situation, getting back to that, if what really happened was what happened is like what I've seen talked about on podcasts and on YouTube videos, where the friggin' mobile home's torn open like a tuna can, and there's a corpse in the tree, and 2 grown people were overcome fighting for their lives and torn apart. That would be a tall order for a single one of these things. Now, if it was like a big group,
I
mean, I could maybe see that, especially taking one up into a tree, considering modern baboons are arboreal to a certain extent. They live a lot of their life on the ground, but they do go up in trees. But who knows if this thing is more like the prehistoric one, if that thing's lifestyle is anything like modern baboons.
Right.
That's hard to say, considering it's so much bigger in scale. It might be more like a gorilla in behavior, where it stays on the ground more often just because of its size.
Right.
And that's a toughie. I mean,
also,
I've heard a bunch of supposedly true accounts from supposed law enforcement who were there. And far be it for me to call anyone a liar. You know what I mean? I'm talking about prehistoric baboons in Ohio. I mean, for anyone, that's a tall order.
Well,
but
it's not.
There's a lot of liars out there.
There is a such thing as environmental evolution. Okay.
Yeah.
And so far as I know, we have no idea how a baboon will, or a troop of baboons will evolve over time living in the United States. If they've been here, I mean, I've got reports I'm looking at that go all the way back to like the 1920s. I mean, if we have a group of baboons that lived in the United States since the 1920s, it's safe to say that any descendant of theirs that might be around now would be superiorly evolved to live here. I mean, that's just, they're not going to have a whole lot of predators to worry about. They're not going to have a whole lot of nothing to worry about except for us.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's
And this is just a side note. Obviously, it's never been like confirmed.
Yeah.
But again, because this has been my obsession for some years, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. Any podcast I can find that mention the devil monkey.
Yeah.
And one of them put me onto this thing where this woman found a carcass on the side of the road in DeRidder, in Ohio. And it's called the DeRidder carcass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just looking at that.
And to me, that thing's got hands. I don't think that's a dog carcass, like some people try to say it is.
Yeah.
To me, that looks way too much like freaking hands and stuff. So I think this is one of the few ones we've ever had where it turns out it did get hit by a car.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was trying to find a bigger picture of it. It's not not easy to find. Oh, here we go. That's a decent picture of it. I mean, in all honesty, looking at it, I mean, you would almost think this is a werewolf.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially the face. Like it does look like you're. It does look like it looks like a werewolf, like from like the movies or something. Almost, I wouldn't say like your Van Helsing werewolf, but yeah, for sure, I could see somebody mistaking that, especially for it to be as aggressive and looking like it does. I can see somebody mistaking it like that. But I was wanting to ask, like, all these times that you've actually encountered these things, was that time that you were by yourself was the only time it seemed aggressive towards you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would have been a different story had we decided to cut through the center trail through the cane instead of going out, or if we'd have come the other direction. You know what I mean? I feel like these things are smart enough that since we haven't nailed them down yet, that they're not going to pick a fight every time a human gets within 10 yards of them.
Yeah. I would imagine they would only attack if they had the surety of advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it was because I was by myself. It was nighttime, which I think as much as I heard them at night for all those years, that's kind of more their time when they're out rolling around. Mm-hmm. So I think it was at night, so it was more confident because that's its time. And I think it knew I was by myself, and it wanted to eat, and I was scaring it off of its food, and it was tired of having it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the behavior, everything about the behavior makes sense. That's kind of what, like, hearing your story, it lends itself a lot more to the natural behavior of an actual animal.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't out there stalking you for the whatever reason that the apparent dog man stalks people to scare them and then leave them alive to tell the story. He was busy eating. It
certainly didn't grin at me. I can say that much.
It did not grin at you.
It didn't get rid.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask that. That's like one common thing that everybody. Okay, if you said you got a very good look at it, so was it ripped? Did it look like it's been at the gym for all its life?
Oh man!
I will say it looked strong. Yeah. I can say that much.
But
in the same way that. No, in the same way that you could look at a pit bull walking down your sidewalk and you'd be like, damn, I don't want to screw with that dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of that same thing. Like you could tell it's got strength there in its limbs and things like that. You know, I mean, to be honest, monkeys, even before all of this stuff, always kind of freaked me out. Chimps, especially.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, they're like 5 times the strength of a human and they target male genitalia.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that, so I'll stay away from chimps.
Yeah, that's it's a known fact. They do it. They go right for it every time.
Man, they know how to get. They know
male genitalia and face.
Planet. Yeah, there's a special on Animal Planet where this guy, I guess, raised a chimp from childhood, and he eventually had to give it to like a nature center. And he went to visit it on his chimp's birthday. He took like a cake with his wife because I guess they couldn't have kids, and it had become like a surrogate child.
Yeah.
And they went out there, and someone at the nature center left the gate open.
Oh, wow.
And about 5 chimpanzees rolled out there. They ate the poor guy's face off. They ate all of his fingers off. They ate his genitalia off. They turned him around, and they ate his butt.
Oh, wow.
All the way down to where they got to the sciatic nerve in his spine and paralyzed it.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it was a horror show to listen to.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Poor guy lived, but he was paralyzed, no lips, no eyelids, no nose anymore.
Wow. I'm sure he's so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just tickled to death that someone finally decided to spring into action and save him.
Yeah, that's...
after all of that.
Jeez Louise, yeah, it's... wow. Now I'm freaked out by monkeys, so...
Yes. I actually thought they were really cute at times, but now I'm terrified.
Well, I've never thought that monkeys were cute, and the reason is because when I was a small boy, my grandmother decided it was going to be fun for me and her and my grandfather to go to the Cincinnati Zoo, and I was so excited to see the elephants, and then we were going to go and see the monkey house. We go into the monkey house, and I'd never seen monkeys before, so I was just blown away. And within 10 seconds of seeing the monkey house, one of the monkeys shit in its hand and flung it right at the glass right in front of my face.
Oh, God.
And I was like, you know what? Elephants are good people. So at least they, elephants shit, way out there in the field, and they're not trying to throw it at me. So
to be fair, I got peed on by a rhino.
Really?
Yep.
I have to know how do you get peed on by a rhino? Like, how does that happen?
They have the rhinos in like the same cages they put the elephants in, which is like just those big wood bars.
Yeah.
And we walked by, and it turns out rhinos can like squirt their pee like a garden hose.
Yeah, they spray like cats.
Yep, and it peed all over, and my mom.
Just wrong place at the wrong time, or?
No, I feel like it was targeted.
Really?
I was offended.
Like, really? Like, he actually, you think this rhino actually, like...
No, I don't think the rhino had it in for me.
Okay. I was going to say, I mean, rhinos seem like they could, have the potential of being kind of dickish, but I always figured that was hippos, you know what I mean?
Well, it was also a Sumatran rhino, so it's one of the rarest rhinos ever.
Oh, so he knows he can pee on people and get away with it.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Arrogant.
Okay, arrogant rhinos. Well, I don't know. That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Everything you've told me has definitely added a lot more complexity to how I look at this whole topic in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I've just seeing the experiences I've had and stuff like that. It's what put me on the path to listening to podcasts about, Bigfoot, Dogman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the whole devil monkey thing seems to be something pretty limited to Ohio and Kentucky a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
As far as anyone talking about it. It's almost like it's an Ohio-based cryptid, which is really weird. I don't know if maybe some crazy a-hole in the 20s let loose a whole bunch of them in the Ohio Valley for no reason.
Yeah.
And they've just hung out here, or what else is going on with them? But it sure does. at least from everything I've seen, it seems to be pretty Ohio focused. Unless what people are seeing and thinking are Dogman is them, in which case they're freaking everywhere.
Wow. Okay, so let me take you guys through this real quick. I think you'll find this pretty interesting. This is from 1976, April 19th. An article says bananas fail to lure 50 AWOL baboons. And this happened in Kings Mill, Ohio, April 18th, 1976. 50 baboons on the loose.
In Kings Mills?
Yep, they were at Kings Island Amusement Park for 4 days, and their keepers have been trying to lure them back into their area with bananas, oranges, mushrooms, and the occasional Hostess Twinkie. The fugitives, which are still on the park's land, were to have been a new addition to the Lion Country Safari exhibit, in which tourists ride on the monorail past the African beast roaming in something like their natural environment. And I don't think it went how they were thinking it was going to.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
So, I mean, baboons can get loose. You know, I think it's within reason.
Yeah. I mean, that place was already really sketchy in my mind because my dad told me that place went out of business because a keeper was killed by a lion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess he got out of his Jeep to pee on the safari.
Oh, my God.
And the lion decided it was a good opportunity for an early lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here that the baboons were placed in cages first, and then they were gradually released little by little over time, right? They had a 12-foot high fence enclosure, and within moments they were all leaving the 12-foot high fence enclosure.
They chose 12 foot.
Dang.
For something that climbs trees.
Yeah.
Precision planning.
Amazing.
Oh, man, this is crazy. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, here we got, like you, the story you referenced earlier, dangerous exotic animals, 2011, turned loose, then hunted down in Ohio by the officials. The Zanesville Zoo escape. You know, this stuff does happen, so I could see it. I could get behind this. You know, I could definitely get behind the Dogman being a misidentified baboon. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, especially out here. Like, people always overlook Ohio and Kentucky when they think about wilderness states. They think about Wyoming or Montana and things like that. And yeah, there's a lot of wilderness up there. But Ohio and Kentucky and Indiana, too, all are very, very rural and have big state parks and just big natural spaces still.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Kentucky even more so than Ohio, depending on where you're at.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine how many people right now are living with some kind of, you know, exotic animal as their pet. Oh.
And people that don't even have them registered, you know, that have them illegally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, I mean, a group of baboons that have evolved long enough, you know, raised young here. You know what I mean? The young are growing up and with this as their home. I mean, you know.
They can obviously handle the climate. I mean, Cincinnati Zoo keeps them outdoors all year long.
Yeah.
And they keep just fine. I mean,
all right.
So we know just because they keep them at the zoo and things like that. People keep them in private enclosures outdoors.
Right.
You know, you have Columbus, the Wilds, where they literally just keep them out in the open, and they handle the weather just fine. So it's not like it's some exotic reptile or something that's can only survive in weather of a certain humidity or a certain temperature. They can obviously adapt to it.
Well, primates are known for being good at adapting to things, you know, very quickly. It's kind of our knack. You know what I mean? Like we all kind of have it.
Some would say worse.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one animal on the planet that's just got a really good shot at doing moderately okay anywhere, I'd probably have to hand it to a primate, just because. I mean, look at us so far.
That's for sure.
So far, so good.
Right.
Well, T, I really appreciate you talking to us tonight, man, and I'm sorry to keep you on for so long.
Hey, it's no problem. I'm glad we finally managed to figure out a time that worked where I could talk to you.
Oh man, I know. I felt bad we couldn't link up a week ago, but I understand. You know what I mean? Jobs and life. You know, we were just talking about that tonight. That life always seems to happen when we're making other plans. You know.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, man. Do you guys have any more questions for him before we let him go for the evening?
No, I guess is all. I really want to just keep us posted if you see any more.
Yeah, that would be great.
If you can, don't put yourself in harm's way, but if you can't, get us a picture.
Right.
If I can, like, I have pretty free reign over at my buddy's property in Adams, so I could at least get some trail cameras put together and throw some trail cams out and see what comes up.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, never awesome, a bad idea. Never a bad idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would just, make sure you have somebody with you, and when you go.
Trust me, if I'm outside and I have pants on, I have a guy.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful anywhere near Adams County during hunting season. Though I don't think those fellas out there follow any sort of laws.
No. That's why Adams County's so nice. No one asks any questions.
Would definitely like to possibly link up with you in the future, and if it would maybe be okay to actually try to come and get a recording of these sounds that you're hearing.
Yeah,
it'd be great to.
I'd be definitely open to doing that.
That would be awesome, man. But yeah, I really appreciate you, man, and we'll let you go for the evening. And good luck with your endeavors. I don't want to say too much of what you got on the horizon, but I definitely appreciate you, man, and what you're doing, and we really appreciate you talking to us, man. It's awesome.
All righty, no problem. You all have a good night.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Later.
That was pretty wild. I mean, to me, that was a cryptid story with a whole bunch of viable possibility.
Yeah.
A lot of circumstantial stuff that actually aligns with it pretty well. Did you guys see some of the pictures that I posted?
Yes.
Yep.
You see the guy's picture of the baboon right outside his fence?
Yeah, that's wild, man.
I'm like, dude, there's your dog, man, right there.
I mean, yeah. That's one of the things that me and you talked about before I even became a co-host, was the theory of the dog man being like another species.
Right. I mean, okay, so baboons, it's a primate. It's a very adaptable species. Very, very, I mean, they are very, very good survivors. They're very, very strong animals. They're fast. They're clever. I mean, these are not just a dumb animal. This is an animal with a social order, with strategy. You know what I mean? It hunts together. It gathers together. They watch each other's backs. They're kind of above, a lot of other animals. Now, give them a new world full of calories. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, oh my God. What is the possibility? What is the possibility of giving these guys a world full of things they can eat, where they're not working quite as hard anymore to hunt and kill things?
I had a weird question for you guys. Especially, I wanted to ask this, but I kind of wanted to get I didn't want to. It's a little out there.
No.
Okay, you were saying that if these things animals were say that somebody had a bunch of baboons. I know you said that there was some that were released or escaped, but you said slowly evolve to their surroundings, and that's like with any primate, will adapt to what's around us.
Yeah.
But another thing too is there a possibility that it could be an offshoot of a hybrid? Is there any possibility that it made it with any other animal?
Okay. So you know the thing about tigers and lions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, similar in size, similar, in a lot of ways. One's more of a solo hunter, the other one's a pack hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so breed them together, and you get an animal that is literally twice the size of either species. Right?
Yeah.
So, to me, that's not too far outside of a possibility. What did it breed with? I have no idea. But the idea that, that it could have. I mean, look at, for one thing, a lot of animals in the wild are not going to be as well fed and as well sized as their counterparts that are fed in a farm. You know what I mean? Or fed at home. Like, I guarantee my dog is fatter than a wolf is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's probably fatter, but he's probably not nearly as tall.
Probably not as big, but he's got more pinchable fat on him, is what I'm getting at, right? He's fatter.
I feel like
right.
He's not as strong,
active.
And he's not whatever, but he's also not working for his food either. He's a lazy bastard, right?
Right. So, okay, the one thing, though, we had to keep in consideration, though, is sometimes when you have a hybrid, the offspring of a hybrid is sterile.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the occasional animal is sterile. I mean like mules.
Yeah.
Don't make mules.
Right. Right.
How so? Like, how is this? What is this, like, science behind that? Like, what makes them sterile like that? So
the chromosomes of the parents are too different, right? So a mule itself can be born. It's just close enough to be born. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But its own chromosomes are going to be too different to breed to make more viable chromosomes, basically, to reproduce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then how are dogs, like, with all these, like, because we mix them with different breeds and this and that.
See,
like, how are they?
A donkey, though, is a different family than a horse.
Uh-huh.
Right? I mean, they're from the same group, right? All right. So, how to I don't know how to explain this properly, but the donkey is. Think of a dog and a fox.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that. They're close related. They're super close related, but not enough to be viable. Get what I'm saying?
I get that, but that just seems like weird, because I thought that's how a lot of certain style of animals got. Like, I mean, at least dogs. I'm talking about dogs because I've seen articles of people talking like, oh, I bred it with this and this to get so I can get this. And I can't, I know I'm just basing it off of just somebody saying it, and I never really dug deep into it.
Yeah.
But I always assume that if it was born and it was healthy, it could breed, basically. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's just what do you call it? It's just not what do you call it? It can't produce a viable chromosome that can be passed forward another again. You can do one time basically, and that's pretty much it. With dogs though, it was different because we did that. We bred them over and over again for the traits that we liked.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I like what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's only really possible if there's an outside interference. Like it wouldn't happen naturally if it just.
I imagine you'd get a different type of mule depending on the horse you used. Wouldn't you think, Josh? I mean,
yeah, because there's a lot of people like to use Tennessee Walkers because of the gait. Something to keep in mind, though, is that not all hybrids are sterile. So, like ligers will absolutely create offspring.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, like, you've got all the different categories that separate life itself, like order, class, phylum, kingdom, all that kind of stuff. And I think it has to do where at what point are those two in the same category?
Right.
Is what makes the difference whether they can breed or not. So, like, breeding two dogs are dogs.
Right. Yeah.
And dogs and wolves are not the same species, but dogs can breed with wolves. And I believe that a wolf dog hybrid can produce offspring.
I believe they can too, yeah. It's actually a pretty big problem in the United States. The wolf dog problem.
Yeah. And the coyotes.
Yeah. I know that. I know that one to be a fact because coyotes have been reported on several occasions sneaking in and impregnating pet dogs.
Yeah.
Actually, I read a thing recently where a guy he actually it happened to his dog. The dog gave birth to a bunch of little coyote pups, and he kept them.
Really?
Kept them all. Yep. And that dude, this dude's like the saint of patience, is all I can say. Because apparently, when you raise a pack of coyotes, right, and they associate you with something they identify as positive, a love or an alpha. Imagine how excited your dog is when you get home, right?
Right.
Okay, so imagine like 13 little coyotes in the house. And
it sounds adorable.
Their leader just comes home. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you listen to out in the distance over your place, Josh, the coyotes all hooting and hollering and having, kicking up. Imagine that in your living room.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do to calm them. They have to let it. It has to just ride. But I agree with you. It would be adorable. I don't think I could be mad at them. I'd probably put earplugs in after a while, But I don't know that I could dislike them for it. Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, the whole hybrid thing, it does make sense. You know what I mean? But again, there's environmental evolution produces mutations,
That's what I was going to ask too. So, if anything, would environment would it let them evolve in certain ways? Like, would their some of their physical features change over time by living in this area versus where they actually are from?
Right. I don't know. I mean,
I just didn't know if that was a possibility in the whole thing. Yeah.
So what on earth would a aberrant baboon pack breed with in the United States?
I can't. I mean, I don't know. That's my whole thing is unless they're aberrant because they were domesticated, there's no way to explain the size.
Right.
The size is not going to happen where they're from. I mean, where they're from, that the size they are is the optimal size. But the way he's talking, we're not talking a giant leap in size though.
Right.
He even said that he might be building it up because of the memory of it. I could see it if it was frightening or scary. You might remember it. A lot more bigger. You know what I mean than it was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the humans are absolutely terrible witnesses.
Yeah.
I mean, just horrid witnesses. It has been proven time and time again.
Right.
We think we're great.
Yeah. That is the truth. Yeah.
We think we're awesome witnesses, but we're just not. So, facts get skewed, dimensions are off. That, and I mean, how many people out there that are witnesses are also amazing with spatial reasoning, with the ability to just guess measurements by looking at it.
Right, yeah.
I don't
know. I still believe that I saw a black bear.
I mean, I've seen weird shit, and, I tell myself that there's no way in hell I saw what I saw,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about, okay, so Denny, you're a tall fella.
Yeah.
How many times a day does somebody ask you how tall you are and then immediately shoot a guess out and they're way off?
Probably every time, I don't really get asked how tall I am anymore. I always get asked, "Hey, could you reach this for me?"
That's
I'm I follow the law of the giants, so no matter what it is they ask, I have to get it for them.
Right,
and it's begrudgingly.
You have to. It's fair play.
Yeah.
It goes along with having trouble to find pants. And fitting into small cars is a problem. That's your benefit, is being able to help people.
I swear to God, short people, if I ever need something underneath something, you better go get it.
You ever notice that nobody short ever volunteers to get something down low for you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got the law of the giants. I want the law of the gnomes.
Yeah, this is how it should be. Like, hey man, you're way up there. Don't worry, I got you. Let me bend down and get this for you.
Yeah, let me get this for you there, tall guy.
Right, that's I use that excuse all the time at work. If there's something that involves a lot of on-the-ground work besides the layout of the job, I'll put somebody else on it, if I can. Yeah. And they're always like, why do I got to do it? I'm like, well, because the ground's a whole lot further away from me than it is from you, pal.
Right.
It's a lot longer of a trip for me to get down there, and then I got to get back up. So, you stay down there.
No, right. Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. I just think it's a little biased. It's a little not fair that us tall people are here to get everything that you short people can't reach.
Right.
And if my keys fall underneath, a Coke machine, nobody's throwing themselves down to get my keys for me.
No. No.
Okay.
Before this, getting angry here. It's okay.
Before this gets into a very big debate over tall people and short people.
Yeah.
See right there, the short guy doesn't have the patience.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't want to hear tall guy problems.
He doesn't want to hear it.
God.
Hey, yeah.
You're not respecting our feelings.
I'm sorry.
It's offensive.
But I think we should let these good people get back to their day.
Yeah.
Yeah. While you're out of your day, see if a tall guy needs something off the bottom shelf.
Would you?
Hashtag tall people are people too.
Thank you, Tyler. You know what? It's just nice to hear it. It's just nice to hear it. You guys out there.
Real quick before we shut this one down, let's give a little shout out to Travis for being a fan of, I don't even know if he realized it or not, but our music.
Yeah, that was awesome.
On the last episode.
Oh yeah, dude, that was. He wants to hear more.
Awesome.
He wants to hear the whole song.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna have to record it for him.
Yeah, we got to get some serious recording going on, guys.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
So with that being said too, if you're a musician, we say it. I'm going to try to keep saying this on the shows. So if you have any music, send it to us.
If you are a listener anywhere and you have music and you want it heard, obviously we can't pay you. We're pulling the whole bar thing.
We're still waiting for people to send us $1,000.
So as musicians, we know how painful this statement is.
Yeah.
Think of the exposure.
Oh God.
But if you want to put your song on the end of one of our episodes, if you got music, and it doesn't have to be heavy metal and rock and roll, it could be anything. Whatever you got. Are you country and western?
Send it.
Are you a keyboard player?
Send it.
Do you write disco tunes?
Send it.
Send it our way. We love music.
Send it.
We love the fact that we're trying to help the scene come back alive.
Hell yeah.
And see back alive.
We're going to keep it alive. Love it.
Yep. And we said it before. So, yeah, if you like the show or if you hate it, still give us a, rate the show. Give us a thumbs down, thumbs up, 1 star,
no
2
thumbs
star,
downs.
3 star.
We're taking that option out.
We just deleted all of the thing.
We're cutting that thumb off.
Like every time you try to hit the thumbs down button, somebody reaches through your screen and slaps your finger.
No.
Yeah. Thumbs up everything, 5-star everything. Send us $1,000.
No, you don't have to do that.
And a dirty penny and pictures of your dog.
Yeah, I still want to see some dog pics.
I haven't seen a single dog pic.
I know.
But if you do want to send us money, just become a patron.
That is true. You get all your episodes early. You get all kinds of extra stuff early. You even get a video of the last episode early, where we dissect the drone footage of the Loch Ness. So that's going to be on the Patreon. So you're going to want that.
Exciting.
Yeah, you're going to want that.
I think I'm going to become a member.
Oh, you should. You should. With that being said, though, you guys out there, you take care of each other. We're all each other has. And send us $1,000. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't know what else you need here.
No, you don't.
See ya.
I can't remember if I said any last words, because the day before was a blur. They buried the old man about a week ago, and I wouldn't shed a tear if I could. Now we didn't see eye to eye, you see, until he closed his eyes for good. Thing follows you, my son. You'll live 100 nights searching for hell, and all of your days by the gun. Beware the good times in your life. They just hide the bad for a while. That feeling you hide behind the tears and the pain is the reason you can't smile. For sure, he's flapping his wings and he's calling for me. I think I'll lay down for a